All right, family. So welcome back to Rose Youth Radio. We're here to help you remove obstacles, strongholds, and excuses in the DMV and beyond. We are coming to you today with this episode to begin the new year of the school season, also the new semester for the fall for all incoming freshmen for college. And this summer is already over. This has been like the fastest summer that I can imagine so far. There's been a number of things going on. I've done a lot of traveling. I'm trying to make sure that things are done the right way. Big Homie has had several events and things going on. So we will start off with our prayer with Big Homie, and then we will continue on you, sir.
All right. But God, we come before you this weekend with humility, surrender, and clarity. We're asking not just for peace or provision, but for a reset. People have chased applause. People have been worried about opinions. People have carried what they should have released. But today, we pray to come back to you. Lord, you say in your word, let the dead bury their own dead. And today we choose life. We choose forward. We choose Jesus. So I ask every listener right now, are you in or not out? Not halfway, not lukewarm. We pray for people to be all in. Everything in this world often fades, and what you give is eternal. So God, let this message today shake rooms, convict, comfort, and let us feel home for you. We have home in you. We pray all this in your name, Yeshua. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Oh, man. So this episode title will be Faith, Focus, and Fresh Starts, because a lot of us is in a season right now where things have definitely taken a turn. This entire summer has been very progressive, and I'm looking forward to a great school year, from graduations to seniors graduating high school, attending graduations, attending college graduations. It's just been a fast summer for me, and we are entering into the fall. Right now, there are so many people going in a direction that they're not really sure about. So this first segment will be slowing down in the fast world. Now, I basically understand this by hustling, chasing, juggling multiple things, multiple tasks, roles, trying to survive. Number one, this economy, but sometimes, we just can't keep up because things are moving so fast. And I encourage you to slow down. Number one, with your people, whether that's family, friends, or those who basically feed your soul and anything that you're doing to navigate in your own path. But making the right connections, making sure that you are keeping genuine connections that you need in order to grow, in order to succeed, because this is a time where we have to pay attention a little bit more than we used to. This coming.
Well, you didn't pay attention from before. You talking about pay more attention than what we used to. I'm like, you didn't pay attention from before.
With what?
I'm listening, trying not to judge. You said pay more attention than we used to. I'm saying what, you wasn't paying attention before?
Hey, I slip up just like everybody else, but you have to pay extra attention.
No. Okay. Caramel, Shannon Sharp, anyway, but go ahead.
Really?
I can say some other stuff. This is a family show.
Keep
I
it
do.
up. I was asked a question about college or trade school. And right now, with this economy and everything that's going on with it, you know, we're talking about making smart decisions. There are a number of people who have been doing social media side hustles for years now, whether it's good or bad, and we all take risks. So if you have joined in on things that have been, marketed to you or, monetized in your direction, then maybe it worked for you, maybe it didn't. But I would say at this given moment, the choice is on the person. With my mentees, I'm never in a position to tell them which direction they should go because I always feel like, number one, God is going to lead you in the right direction or give you, how should I say it? Give you the network that you need to be around you when you collaborate and do things by having a mentor, by talking to people, by going to different events. Because not everybody can do college. But then you also have the trade skills right now are making a lot of money. And these are skills that are going to be there with you forever. So, I have a number of friends myself, including, the things that we did in high school. I did barbering in high school. My sister did childcare. My friends did cosmetology. Some of them did plumbing, carpentry. All of these different skills you're always going to need somebody, electrician, to help you with, anything, whether it's your home, your business, or whatever the case may be. So when it comes to making a decision whether you want to go to college or trade school, I always say that depends on the person. I can't never solely make that decision for you. It's just not going to happen. Not with me. I want
Well,
to.
they're guidance counselors, but I mean, the way things are with that, I get it. And yes, people make more money nowadays as far as with trade. I mean, trade off is if you're not, and not that I've totally benefited from sick leave, all that other type of stuff. Trade, you're paid per, but you got to make sure people know how to budget, work certain contracts. There's certain things, how things are with that if you are as an electrician, a plumber, HVAC, all those things, cosmetology, barbering, how you manage all that, how you
Of course.
monetize and flourish that, or if it is a side hustle, or if you are multi-vocational, as I've done in ministry and other things like that, how you leverage. So, I mean, all those things and trying to see what's the best. And it really makes sense now since, like, I mean, a lot of, even though I believe in the 4-year college experience, whatever the case is, if you weren't the best student in high school, then that you don't want to spend all that money, especially if people, if there's not whole, I mean, whether loans, because I mean with that you incur debt. So if it's kind of shaky, you want to watch that as far as whether with loans or whether your parents paying out of pocket. I mean that's where. I mean, I was a snob with it before, but still, if you're trying to try out college, that I feel like that there's a lot of good, junior colleges, community colleges, which you can pay little to none. And some, depending on where you are in the country, some community colleges are free. But here in the DMV, there's a lot of great ones from, I mean, even UDC branching off into that to Montgomery College, Prince George's Community College, the Nova series, as far as that. But there's a lot of great top-notch. I believe that there's some of the top-ranked 2-year colleges, and depending on where you are, that if there's something that you aspire to, or maybe you don't have the discipline or the grades, you can have guaranteed. I know in Virginia, I think if you graduate from Nova, that you have guaranteed acceptance into a public 4-year Virginia college. So, I mean, there's certain
Right.
things that you can do to leverage as far as being smart with money. Because sometimes you can think that you're going to make whatever say investment and then just dig a particular hole that, even though I believe in liberal arts curriculum. Or also, if you have some of those things, well, that's another thing that, maybe guidance counselors should lean into a little bit more. That, like, those who can cut, if you learn that trade in high school as far as cutting hair or cosmetology or whatever the case is, you can make a clip on a college campus, all the other type of stuff. So it's just like you can make a decent amount of money, that is adds on to whatever your work study job is or whatever you do off campus. So, I mean, those are certain things where you can thrive and flourish. So it's like, have those mentors in place, but try to see where to go with that. Because, I mean, still, like, some of these degrees, the pedigrees look good. And I'm not saying that you don't eventually use them, but still, sometimes we can be offended when we aren't making the money. And then also dependent, I mean, really, we're with the Gen Z that are the classic college age now, that some people, I mean, that might be a whole nother conversation for another day. But, folks who quit at the, like, drop of a hat and don't have anything lined up, faith without works is dead. So it's just like sometimes you might need to leave some toxic situations, but still the whole game plan and stuff. But that might be, I know this coming season, as far as with Rose Youth Radio, that there might be certain people you interview. So whether they're millennial, Gen Z, Gen X, or older, about how to leverage, how to move, instead of doing something prematurely that might, or actually it ties into, as we, probably get ready to go from segment 1 to segment 2, like slowing down and fast world. Because some people are like, I'm out. And then it's just like, all right, how you going to pay your bills? Keep roof over your head, whatever the case is. Like, slow down a little bit so you can plan your exit plan. Don't, or all these younger folks who can't play cards, don't show your hands. So it's just like with that, like, just be able to kind of go ahead and make your plan for an exit plan where you're going to make your next move, and network while you still have some resources. You're able to keep a roof over your head, buy food for yourself, get around, and have that versus like, you just cut ties and burn bridge. Don't burn bridge with you standing on it. Whatever the case is, versus, sometimes you can leave a situation peacefully and then that might help you go on to the next place versus like, as you try to ascend, I mean, if you come crashing down and burn, you're not trying to do
that. That's true. And there is a number of trades that are paying, between like 90 and 120K. And sometimes it doesn't even take that much to go to school. Some of them are like certificates, 18-month programs, and you can do all of this at your local community college. So, like a lot of these resources were never really told to us when we were growing up. So like now you have like all these different platforms, and especially through your own experience with researching certain things. So like you can go to a community or a technical college and get a certificate, or an associate's degree or some type of license to basically practice. And then some tech schools, they have like for your state, I think some of them pay for like a journeyman type thing where you have to complete a set number of hours. There was one that I looked at, to be honest, and it was HVAC, and it was like 6,000 hours. So that's in order for you to get it for free. So that was a lot. And if you don't have 6,000 hours, this works for somebody that's young, like somebody who just graduated high school and all this, new to the workforce. But things are definitely changing. And I strongly believe that trades are the next big thing, especially in this economy right now. I went through the same thing when I first was out here trying to, get a job, but you needed like 10 years of experience, 15 years of experience to get a nice paying job. And it's like, if you in college or you didn't have that much experience, how are you going to have 10 or 15 years? But it was crazy. That that time reminds me of really what's going on now. And it's not as bad as it was then. I just think that you have to do the work and do extra to, actually make things snowball and get interviews and stuff going for you, because you're going to have to apply for a lot of jobs depending on whatever career field you know are in or headed towards. And I believe at one before I got my own career that has been long standing for now, I applied for like 600 jobs at that given time. So it can be done, but you have to want it. So that's just, you know, that's how the cookie crumble right now. I really don't know what else to say. So choosing your own path, whether you're going to do college or trade school, that's something that person has to be, number one, interested in, and then also willing to complete that program, whether it's a degree, certificate, or whatever the case may be. I have a lot of mentees going to college right now, so nothing has really changed. But I do encourage some of them that aren't going to college to go to trade schools or do something else, because you don't want to be working 2 or 3 jobs just to make it. That is not the life. It comes with a lot of issues. It comes with health problems, and trust me, I've been there before, and it is not a good situation to be in. And it also ultimately is one of the reasons why I end up having a freak accident. But you know, trying to scrape and scrabble for, you know, the little things just to make up for what you need to pay for with bills or whatever. So choosing your own path, making sure that you are, making the right decision for you. That's just how I look at it. And like I said, I don't encourage anybody to choose a decision based on what I would want them to do. That's a personal thing. So we're gonna go to the Black family reunion. The Black family reunion. The power of coming home. So this part is basically, I guess it's just me, but I've always had this thing of your family should be supportive of everyone in your family. And that goes for, kids who may want to go to school, different resources that, you have or you hold within yourself or your network. And most recently, I got a chance to experience a different type of family reunion. And this was whose family reunion? Your side. Your side, my side, triple side, everybody's side. And I heard a lot of good things, and I saw a lot of good things. I saw people sharing information. I saw people, giving out resources for scholarships. I saw people, just talking about their own experience and who helped them and how they got through college and how they got through, growing up and making a way. We can't do it alone. We just can't do it alone. No one ever does it alone. We all need each other. And I think there was a trend or something saying like the Black family reunion is dead. No, no, no. As long as we try to make stuff like that trend, then yes, it probably will go in that direction. But no, you have to be stronger than that. And the younger generation has to step up and pick it up from the elders, because that is the direction that it's going right now. A lot of the elders in their 70s and 80s, and I love my great aunts, uncles, and those who showed us how to do certain things, and always plan family reunions, cookouts, or whatever to bring everybody back together. But it can't always be that one person or those few chosen people. You have to have more than that. And I'm gonna ask you, what have you seen with your family reunions that people could benefit off of that might not have experienced a family reunion the way your family reunion?
I mean, you saw it for yourself. So, I mean, with that, I mean, it is what it is.
But
We can
don't
talk
say what
about
I
it.
saw. Tell people your experience. You grew up with them. You see how
I mean,
dedicated they
I
are. You see the
understand, I
work.
get it, but I mean, it just really depends on what you look at. Because I can say family reunions are. Um, I know you hit some stuff with Greek life, so it is. I mean, you have a particular bond. Ella had over 100 first cousins, so realizing how deep it goes. That goes 50 years. I organized last year. I have my um, opinion commentary. But still, like, however it is being young age, old age, I will say this, that if you're trying to have the younger people pick it up, you have the matriarchs or the origin from where you do stuff. But still, if you're talking about cousins, whereas I learned a few months ago, like, maybe it's not fourth, fifth, sixth cousins, but I guess when you do the once removed, twice removed, all that of, like, how the lineage is. Shout out to Aunt Georgia for her book, to the late Ruth Martin, as far as of her family lineage book, as far as within our family. But as we look to see as things get more distant, as you have certain cliques or branches of family, you have to make sure the younger generation, I mean, I'm not going to say cliques necessarily in the bad way, even though, like, with family, you have the good, bad, the bad, the ugly. But still, to carry on the tradition, the lineage, the heritage, that it takes bonds versus that, I guess, well, actually, it ties in, thankfully, that when you have the cliques and this and the third, then you have some of those things that can possibly fracture or dissolve what has been so hard built. I will say with our family, we've had every year, even through the pandemic. Now we did, and actually, I think in a way, the virtual reunions we had was good because we kept the bond that we stimulated interest for some people who've never been or haven't been for a long time to reconnect. So that was a good thing when we had it in 20 and 21 virtually. And I want to say we were going to do 22 in person, and then it was a low rollout, or we saw some things that were interesting, so we kept it virtual in 22. But 23 was in Jersey, 24 was in the DMV, and 25 was in South Carolina. And we've been faithful to do it every year. So, I mean, I think a lot of those things are good and positive. We see the other things that aren't, but still, it's just like, how are we going to go forth and be keep it Philippians 4:8, because you know how things are, as far as like what can be negative, but still focus on the positive, build, keep relationships, or even when you talk about the love, and I've said this in some family discussions, that sometimes the love, when you talk about, I don't say loving from afar, but to a point it is, that you build up the energy, the koinonia, as far as with some biblical terms, as far as for that time of year, so that some of the relationships that may be strained, you may build for that time, that point in time, to connect, show love, and hopefully grow stuff. But then sometimes some reunions, like, that's all you can stand, folks. And like, I mean, and I realize that in some other things, college reunions, Greek reunions, whatever the case is, that sometimes it's going to be that one time a year or every other year, or however the frequency is. And with that, that's when you get together, and then see you the next time. Or for the fact of sometimes with the unity of how things are, that you keep the unity, and the unity may be that if you know somebody and the vast body of what connects, that maybe the unity and showing the love is what I've heard some preachers say is the sneaky, I won't call it this prayer, but may the Lord watch between me and ye, meaning like we need to be apart. So it's just like with all the other type of stuff, that till we meet again, that we keep the peaceful unit, but still, like, for those things that can be toxic or fractured or whatever the case is, that you still show love, show the greater body, even though, like, some things may not be always gravy. But still, if we try to respect and we love the whole thing, then we're all able to grow together. And then also, as we grow together, that we do it in the right way, that you can learn the history of like what happened was, even though sometimes that storytelling gets interesting. But then that's the benefit of when you are in these vast gatherings, that you can hear all sides of the story. What happened to cousin who and wah, like, all that other stuff, like cousin, auntie, and uncle. Like, then you can kind of get the story of how things are, but hopefully still keep things going.
That's true. But I was pleasantly surprised by the celebration of the matriarch for those who are up in age, and just the attention and how everybody made them feel like a celebrity. Like, they, from the minute that they walked in the room, it was just like, hey, hi, how you doing? They talking about things that they did back in the day. And then when they got to the raising of money for the scholarships, and just the way people were showing out, and I forget the one, I forget her name, bro. I knew I was gonna forget her name. But when I tell you, if I ever have an event to collect money for scholars, I need her there. Like, they wanted to shut down the session where, they were gathering money to do scholarships for college and all this and all that. And she's like, nope, come on. She's like, come on, I know we got some more money out there. I know we got some more money. So I'm like, and they putting out 20s and 50s and 100s. I'm like, oh, okay. So it was exciting to see. And that's the way it should be. We shouldn't have to have the younger generation struggle when most of us already got some of the money that we could be giving back, because we once got it from somewhere else. Trust and believe me. So we're in that part there, and I just wanted to read this that I wrote here really quick about the Black family reunion. So it states, there's something sacred about Black family reunions. It's not just cookouts, t-shirts, and old photo albums. It's healing. It's remembering. It's reconnecting with your roots before the world told you who to be. We had cousins from every coast, generations from 8 months old to 88 years young. And when we circled up in prayer under the Carolina sun, I felt the weight of legacy and the beauty of survival. Family reunions are protest and praise at the same time. They remind us we didn't come from nothing. We come from somebody. Somebody who prayed, somebody who sacrificed, somebody who made a way when there was no way. That reminds me of your poem, The Waymaker. If you haven't been to one in years, please go. If your family hasn't planned one, start one, please. Because in a world trying to erase us, the best thing we can do is remember who we are and whose we are. And that's it on that part. But I enjoyed it. And even though everything was last minute to get to that part, it was definitely something to see. And I'm glad that we went. All right. So this part is a segment where we are basically honoring a pastor that basically helped me in my younger years. And in many ways, most of my mentees go through the same situations. Right now, there's so many mentees who are looking for funds to clear their balances on campus. And that's one of the most heartbreaking things ever, is having to figure it out and struggle and try to make sure that that balance is clear so you can start school with a clear mind and be focused, because I've been there before and I've never wanted anybody else to feel that way. Even in the situation with my youngest brother going to school at Bethune-Cookman, I never wanted him to have to worry about anything. I never wanted him to experience anything that I've ever experienced. I never wanted him to be kicked off campus because he can't afford this, or he can't finish out, his college experience with friends because of money. So when it comes to finances and making sure that, your bill is being taken care of, there are a number of ways to do that. And sometimes it's not. And in my situation, it was not. So I had several different trials in the beginning of my education career. And one thing that really helped me was drawing back to God and, making sure that I stayed focused. And this summer, I was not able to make something that I really wanted to make because things were this summer just went by so fast. And I couldn't make it at all. It was so last minute. I had so much work to do. And hold on one second. What is that? So when I lived in Phoenix, I had challenges with my education, and there was one pastor, and he retired this year, and his name is Pastor Warren Stewart Sr. And oh Lord, I really don't like telling this story, but I have to tell it again. So I became, as they say, unhoused or homeless due to a situation when I was living in Phoenix. And I went to a shelter on Christmas Day, and nobody knew but me. And I was standing in this long line trying to figure it out because I called, somebody gave me a number to call for, I forget the organization, but they help you find housing or shelter or whatever the case may be in an emergency. So that was Christmas Day. I had to stand in this line in order to be accepted into the shelter. And with that being said, I was way in the back of the line. And this is how you know God worked, because somebody who worked at the facility came all the way to the back of the line. Oh my God, my stomach getting queasy. Whoo. Aye. So that person came all the way to the back of the line and was checking. And again, like I said, this is how you know that God worked, because that person looked at me and was like, looking at me like, you don't belong here. Like, what's going on or what happened? And they pulled me out of line and took me all the way to the front. And people were mad or whatever the case may be, but it was nothing I could do. I just followed orders and went with the guy. And with that being said, I was checked in, I was given an ID, I was given a bed. But in that situation, I had a plan, and my plan was to get myself out of that situation in the next 2 to 3 months. And that next day, or maybe the day after, was going to be a Sunday. And I said, God, wherever I place my hand at in this phone book, because we had phone books back then, that's the church that I'll go to. So when I opened the phone book, I placed my hand in there and it stopped. And I looked at the first church in there, and it was his church. And when I entered into that church, I didn't look like how I look now. I didn't look how like most people have ever seen me. It was bad. It was bad. And some of us have been in that situation before. Right, sir?
I hear you.
Okay, don't leave me by myself now, because
I'm not leaving. I'm hearing
if
where the
you want to
story's
share
going.
some light on your side, you can as well. But
I
we
understand
all don't.
there's a time for everything. We want everybody to be paying attention, like, we're trusting how the Spirit's going to be leading. But you telling your testimony, there's times for
That's
me to
true.
tell certain things
As
wasn't
I
the case. So
as I still feel queasy, but I'm trying to get through it. So, as I said, everybody haven't seen me ever really look that way. And sometimes, we could have been through the fire, but we don't smell like the smoke. And I was in a bad, bad, bad situation. And I fell in this situation by trusting others or whatever the case may be, but I knew at the end of the day, I had to climb myself out of that hole. And I went to church that day. I sat off to the side, didn't really want to be bothered with anybody. Haircut was, yeah, it was bad. Oh, man. So there was this one deacon at the church after the service. Once you come up and say, you want help, you want to do X, Y, and Z. And the deacon who was there, actually prayed for me at that time. And then he gave me a lesson. And he said, I want you to look down. And I had my hands open like this as I prayed. And I'm looking down. And he was like, I want you to look down at your feet. And then he's like, tell me what you see. And I said, the ground. And he was like, okay. And he was like, can you get any lower? And I said, no. And then he said, then guess what? The only way to go is up. And ever since I went to that church, those are the words that I've lived by, to keep going, to persevere, to make sure that I'm fighting through whatever the hardship is, the battle is, the challenge is, no matter what was coming, blow after blow, that I still continue to go up. And after that, I also made a promise to God. I stated that if he helped me get out of this situation, that I would do my best and I will show others how to also improve themselves, to see what no one else can see inside of them, because people saw that in me when I didn't see it in myself. And with that being said, this is what led all of us to where we are now in our life, in our own path, and now on this youth radio show. Nothing like this has ever been done before. This is the very first. And I pray that this time around, my discipline, my focus, my reset is charged up to the point where I'm making sure that I'm doing everything in my power to provide the resources that's needed to build up a student, to make sure that they understand that they can excel academically, to make sure that they can reach the heights and the goals that they want to reach in order to make it, because it's never easy. And one thing I used to always hear when I was younger was, you're too young for this, you're too young for that. That right there was that's like a light switch for me, on and off. You lost me after that. So I always try to make my mentees feel comfortable enough or allow them to share their ideas without being judged, and then me looking at certain things and getting on their level and trying to see what it is that they see, because there's been a lot of times where I don't see what they see, but then I have to bring myself back down to the basics and say, hey, this is what it was said, this is what was felt. Now, if it was me, how would I come back from that? So it's just a level of understanding that you have to figure out, and that was my promise, to help God and to serve His people, and that's what we're all here for: is to help one another, serve God's people, and make sure that we are all able to benefit and gain greater throughout this whole process. So, anything you want to add to that, sir, that you can enlighten somebody with before the next segment?
No, I mean, I want to respect time, and I felt like that was good, and we can probably use that for future segments. But still, like that, I want to make sure we keep things moving.
Okay, that's cool. All right, so now that we are getting ready for most of my mentees who are in college, we have what we call the Amazon wish list, and we need you. We need you to make sure that we are able to fulfill this wish list for multiple students who are going to different campuses. I've been seeing some of my friends that I went to school with, who are also great people and doing great things, that their kids are going to like where are they going? Like Xavier, Southern, Fort Valley State, Savannah State, Delaware State, Howard, Temple, nice universities. So, you know how it was when you was a struggling student. So I just encourage you to help us fulfill this Amazon wish list. I will be posting that all week long this week until all of them are complete. And I will say this, I'm grateful. And for the past years, they have all been, it hasn't been as many as this one, but they have all been fulfilled. And I really want to see the same thing happen once again. Some of them have already went out to certain people in my network and some of the friends that I know that I text directly. So a lot of them have already bought things off the Amazon wish list for some of the students. Some of them don't even know what school they're going to. They don't even ask. They just go ahead and, make a couple purchases, because we all know how it was to be a struggling student. So let's give back. Let's give back. The additional thing that I've done personally myself over the last couple of years is Cash App Weeks. So I remember when I was on campus and I could not even go to some of the homecoming activities, and that's not a good feeling. Not a good feeling at all. So the Cash App Weeks are the direct contributions to help students cover fees for homecoming or anything they may need, just change in their pocket, groceries, gas for some of those who have cars or whatever the case may be. So Cash App Weeks will be scheduled as well. Normally for homecoming, I give them like $50 to $80, depending on what the events are, because some schools, they get into a lot of things for free, but then some they have to pay for, which we understand, because a lot of them are like concerts and, step shows and things of that nature. But that's something that's very important. And if you have a family member that's in college, sometimes you got some extra money, just shoot them $10, $20. That's all it takes sometimes. That's it. That's all. All right. So the last segment we'll be talking about, to wrap it up, is one that I can't even keep holding on to because people have already been taking away all of my popcorn from our good cousin in New Jersey, a black entrepreneur who has a popcorn shop. So if you've been paying attention, you've been seeing my shirt. Pinch on the other side. See, I'm on the other side now. You've been seeing my shirt. You see the logo. Dr. Auntie's Gourmet Popcorn. Now, I've already ordered several flavors of popcorn, and we're going to be trying these popcorns as well. So this is the green apple, which I was really excited about. This is a kettle and then a dill pickle. So she has a sample box too. So most of these come in different flavors. There's a rainbow color and then an Old Bay. So that was one that I had really wanted to try. So got a lot of good things coming up as far as the popcorn shop and a good surprise coming up, especially with my dedication, because this is year 8 of the R.O.S.E project. So something interesting is coming up real soon. So you'll see. It will be live, and then we'll also have a recording as well. But matter of fact, let me try the green apple. Let's see what's going on.
All right, let's have a live reaction.
I was impressed by this one. Let's see. Oh.
Okay, with the pay the bell pie reaction. That's good.
Wow. Oh, wow.
And in case y'all don't know about Mr. PG, like he got a sweet tooth, so he gonna like all that candy. So Dr.
I do
Auntie's
have a sweet
popcorn.
tooth, but I've been knocking it back. I've been pulling back. Let's see.
I'm going to keep my face together with all that other type of stuff. So, but Dr. Auntie's gourmet popcorn, they have sweet and savory. They can adjust salt to your taste if you have some hypertension challenges, or again, if some things are popcorn's not the lowest glycemic, but there's some fiber in that. Some of the savory you can do better with that. I mean, there's a lot of cheesy. There's some ranch. There's some other types of things, but still gourmet, well prepared. So of all that. So, but you see the different samplers which he has in his location. Mine, I won't say got lost in the mail, but I guess the third party, we didn't have that particular thing. But still, it's important to support. She's an entrepreneur, highly educated. We will talk about Greek Les. She's my first cousin, and we're both in Greek led organizations. We are both multi-degreed from a lot of, we both went to Syracuse. I went to Syracuse for undergrad. She went there for a grad degree. But still, like I said, it's a great business to support. She does certain fundraisers as well. So double good ain't got nothing on her.
Hey.
So of all that, support Black-owned, woman-owned, as far as with that in Jersey, draunties.com, I believe. So it's DR, I believe, UAUNTIES.com. But you can Google Dr. Aunties. And it'll come up on your social media platforms, and the website will come up as well.
Yep. We got something really exciting coming up, and you're going to see. As Drake said, you're going to see. But that was really good. I'm shocked.
Why are you shocked when you ordered all this stuff, whatever the case is?
Because I ain't never had like candy on a popcorn like that. And it's not overpowering. It's like freshly I don't know. I can't really explain.
Back in the day it was Cracker Jacks. Still, a lot of people have done the caramel.
But that's
Caramel is
like
probably the basic.
caramel.
But still outside of that, there's some other things to whereas it's been more sweet dessert like popcorn, depending on what you consume. But still, like, yes, I realize that Dr. Aunties has gone a lot deeper into it with a lot of multifaceted candy, sugary type of popcorns as well as the savories. So there's a vast dichotomy of what she does, and some things are seasonal. She just celebrated her first anniversary of the storefront last month. But still, as things go into homecoming season, you have different, from the high schools to different colleges. Jersey doesn't necessarily have an HBCU, but still, you have Lincoln and Cheney not too far away.
Got back to school too. Get your principals.
Yeah, back to school. Particularly for the state of New Jersey, but still there's other things. I did, shout out to nonprofit professionals of color. I took some year before last. Not year before last, October 2024, to where I was able to use that for one of the giveaways. There was a lot of good things for Halloween. So, again, there's different things for different seasons. To where people can enjoy it. Like I said, cheesy, caramel, the basics, which people are familiar with, and then some innovative ones as well. So again, I feel like that's worthwhile.
I think she says like 40 something flavors. I said, what?
Probably active at any given time, but then I know some things are, for a limited time. So they bring it back. But it's better than McRib and some of the other types of things. But still, sometimes there's some bacon-y type stuff. I don't know if they're like buffalo, tasting I don't remember if it tastes like chicken wings, but it's still like the buffalo flavor. But still, there's a lot of innovative things that gourmet and it's fresh. So again, make sure that with the fresh popcorn that you consume within a particular amount of time,
tastes like it just was popped. It tastes like it just was popped today. That's how fresh it is. And I'm like,
right, exactly. So make sure that when you get it, try ordering fresh batches. That's not going, you don't want it to get stale and old. So it's not going to have a super shelf life, or it has a little bit of a shelf life. It can be shipped and have a few days, or whatever the case is. But if you
expect it ain't gonna be no shelf for me, because this probably gonna be a problem.
Don't eat it 1-2 months later. But a week, week, 2 weeks, it should be good, very good. So, like I said, it's good, and definitely highly recommend. 10 out of 10. Go ahead and support the good Dr. Auntie, because she really has a PhD.
She has a PhD.
So
she's smart.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
You is kind, you is smart, you is important.
This is important.
That's good though. I'm gonna have to order me a big bag. this gonna be a
versus later.
This thing got me stuttering.
Good trip that you talking about taking.
This thing got me stuttering.
You talk about a long walk, that might be a long flight. So if you go ahead and do that, get some good.
This thing got me stuttering. I'm like, wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get some other folks to do a first reaction on the other ones. I'll taste the other ones later.
That's what's up.
That one really, yeah. I made the right choice with that. That was good. So in closing, I just want to say support those who support you, and family.
And sometimes be a blessing. Even I won't say to those who don't. I believe in sowing a seed as far as that. Now, granted, sometimes saving your energy, you want to watch where it is, but still, with that ideally support those who support you, show love. Where the kids, you don't know what the blessing that you might be in those areas. But still, like, that's how we really build community, because a lot of times in the social media world, we're totally about self and not about helping others, blessing others. So, like, I know Mr. PG definitely supports a lot of people, and that's a blessing. And we want to be able to be supportive of him as well. Definitely like, share, and subscribe. He gonna learn how to cut these things. Of like, it's fine to have the broadcast that's gonna be close to an hour, but do like little snippets so we can go ahead and build up. You can follow me at Big Homie Poetry, Big Homie, like you see right there, and then Poetry. We trying to build up TikTok. TikTok is building up, and I guess he's trying to get me fully on there. I'm kind of on there, but yeah. But still,
It's
like,
going
there's the
it's going in the
Instagrams and the
direction it's
Facebooks
supposed
and
to
all
go.
that
So
stuff.
we'll have it boosted in no time. But that was really
Right.
good. Like, I'm speechless. Like, I'm like, you actually got it to taste like that, and then it's fresh, and oh my god, that's gonna be a
We know
problem.
what he might be eating tonight.
That's gonna be but this bag might be gone.
That's fine. You did a
might be
taste test. So
might be
that
gone
might be
by
a
the
snack
morning.
for tonight.
But those
That's
in the
cool.
area, especially my folks that went to Delaware State, New Jersey folks, and family and friends and all of that, get over to the shop, please. The what's the address? The address is 1400 Parkway Avenue, B2, Ewan Township, New Jersey, 08628. Go on in there and talk to Dr. Auntie and get you a first-hand experience and try your own popcorn. Go see all the flavors. It's like tubes on the wall, and it's nice inside. I
Yep.
haven't been there yet, but I will make my way.
Yep.
And then with that being said, this popcorn about to be a problem.